This is KVUE News at 5.
The last day of the legislative session, and things get heated in the House. And spreading a message this Memorial Day as thousands across the country remember the lives lost.
Good afternoon, I'm Terry Gruca.
And I'm Quita Culpepper. Well, first, let's start with a live look at the roads with one of our tech stock cameras. You're looking at I-35 and St. John's, and wow, this doesn't happen very often, Terry. Look, the traffic is actually flowing smoothly there. People getting back into town after the Memorial Day holiday.
A lot of people still out of work, which is kind of nice. Some blue skies with a few clouds over downtown after a rainy weekend. And it sounds like that rain is not over just yet. Chief Meteorologist Albert Ramon has a look at what we're tracking. Albert?
Turned out to be a nice day, Terry and Quita, because of yesterday's rainfall, squeezing out the atmosphere with a lot of instability. So just an isolated shower in the forecast. Pretty quiet on the max storm radar right now. Partly sunny with temperatures generally in the mid-80s, including 86 in Austin. Main thunderstorm action this afternoon is being between Junction and Del Rio. You can see that activity still way out towards the west of us. So we'll keep in a 20% chance for a shower this evening. We'll up those rain chances by midweek. It looks like Wednesday and especially into Thursday will be the wettest stretch of weather for the next couple of days. And we even have lingering rain chances into the upcoming weekend. We'll talk about how much rain we could see in the rain gauge between now and the weekend coming up.
Thanks, Albert. A heated exchange, a scuffle, and threats. That sums up the final day of the 85th legislative session in the Texas House of Representatives. KVUE political reporter Ashley Godot was there when lawmakers lost their cool. And Ashley, what's going on over there?
Well, Quita, the Capitol was filled with people protesting SB 4 today, the ban on so-called sanctuary cities. Representative Matt Rinaldi walked over to two Hispanic representatives on the House floor and told them he had called ICE on the protesters. We caught what happened next on camera.
Texas representatives scuffling on the House floor, yelling, pushing each other. Watch it again. On the right, you see Representative Jeff Leach stepping in front of Representative Pancho Narvaez, telling him to stop. Diego Bernal steps between them. Narvaez goes around and makes a beeline for Matt Rinaldi. Why?
He walked back and told us, I called ICE.
Representatives Ramon Romero and Cesar Blanco were standing together on the House floor like this, waving to a crowd of SB4 protesters as they were being escorted out of the gallery for making noise. Rinaldi approached them.
And we both, what do you mean? You did what? And he said, yeah, I called ICE. And then he said, F them.
Rinaldi can't recall what was said.
I don't remember what was said on either side. I just know they were saying stuff to me. I was saying stuff to them. Both of them designed to incite each other. We were both all sides were emotional.
But the words turned into threats.
My brother Pancho and Representative Rinaldi, there was a threat made from Representative Rinaldi to put a bullet in one of my colleagues' head.
Rinaldi denies it.
No, I didn't say that.
You did not say that?
No.
Did you say
Pancho
like that?
Pancho did threaten me.
Later, Rinaldi put out this statement on Facebook stating in part, quote, I made it clear that if he attempted to, in his words, get me, I would shoot him in self-defense. He also says he did call ICE.
Look, I'm just tired. I'm sick and I'm tired.
Narvaez admits his actions weren't right.
Because while pushing and shoving and anything beyond that isn't acceptable and it shouldn't happen out there, and I'm sorry it happened, the fact is he's asking for it.
Emotions boiling over, bringing a close to the 85th legislative session.
Many representatives say Rinaldi's actions are a direct example of the racial profiling they feared would happen once SB 4 passed. They say he saw Hispanic protesters assume they were undocumented and called ICE. Reporting live at the Capitol, Ashley Godot, KVUE News.
It's going to be a long night. Okay, Ashley, thank you. First thing this morning, Governor Greg Abbott signed House Bill 100 regulating ride-sharing companies. Within 10 minutes, Lyft was back up and running in Austin. Uber not far behind. The bill strikes down the main reason these two services left Austin last May. KVUE's Jay Wallace is in the newsroom to explain the change. Jay?
That's right. You can see in the Lyft app right now, there are drivers back on the road providing their services, and you can see the same in the Uber app as well. It was kicking off this morning when Governor Abbott greeted a group of Uber and Lyft drivers before signing the T&C regulation bill, House Bill 100, into law.
It's now law in the state of Texas.
These two companies left a little more than a year ago because of the Proposition 1 vote, which upheld the city's requirement for drivers in Austin to undergo fingerprint background checks, among other conditions. Governor Abbott says today is a day to celebrate free enterprise, calling the Austin regulations that led to Uber and Lyft's departure, quote, heavy-handed. So this bill, now law, makes clear that local governments cannot regulate the service or charge fees to companies or their drivers.
This patchwork quilt of regulations does nothing but drive up the cost of business, drive down opportunities for customers to choose the provider of their choice.
And for local startup Ride Austin, which started in Uber and Lyft's departure, this company stands by the initial set of rules voted on by Austin citizens, and it will continue to fingerprint the drivers no matter what the state law requires. While this new bill explains a number of standards for all rideshare companies, including criminal convictions, remaining something that would make someone unable to drive, those fingerprint background checks are now no longer required. In the newsroom, Jay Wallace, KVUE News.
President Donald Trump celebrating Memorial Day while his administration is under fire. The president is defending his close advisor and son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who faces accusations of attempting to set up back-channel communications with Russia, kept hidden from U.S. intelligence agencies. His wife, Ivanka, spotted Sunday with the private lawyer advising the president on the Russia investigation. Rumors are swirling around White House staff shakeups.
Kushner is a unique situation because, unlike anybody else who's just staff who you ultimately can fire, he is married to Ivanka Trump, a big asset to this administration.
President Trump defended Kushner himself in a statement to the New York Times, saying he has total confidence in him and that he's doing a great job for the country.
President Trump marked Memorial Day at Arlington National Cemetery in Washington and around the country. Reminders that this holiday isn't about beach trips and cookouts, but fallen heroes. ABC's Megan Hughes with the story.
Gold Star families lining up at Arlington National Cemetery to tell President Donald Trump their stories.
He's looking down, he's very proud.
Thank you so much. And if you could remember just Jimmy, that would mean so much to me.
Trump seemed to put behind him that campaign feud with the Khan family, Muslim American Gold Star parents.
Every Gold Star family, God is with you.
Trump laying a wreath, observing a moment of silence, and honoring the fallen. While across the country, from the Hill of Flags at Boston Common to the motorcycle group Rolling Thunder rolling through Washington, to a small-town parade in upstate New York, signs of gratitude for sacrifice. Trump's former political foe, Hillary Clinton, parading there with her husband, wouldn't talk politics.
I think it's important to honor everyone who sacrificed their lives in pursuit of our rights, our values, our freedom.
Vice President Mike Pence welcoming a group of wounded warriors and first responders on bicycles at his home.
This is a day we remember those who served and did not come home.
And on board the USS Intrepid in New York City, a 100-foot American flag, a rifle salute, and a raw sense of loss after a Navy SEAL's parachute failed to open during a Fleet Week jump over the Hudson River just yesterday.
This has been a Fleet Week that started with such joy. As Fleet Week ends, it ends with deep, deep sorrow.
At that event on board the Intrepid, Jersey City first responders were given a special thank you for their efforts to help that Navy SEAL. Megan Hughes, ABC News, Washington.
One local serviceman is marching across town, hoping to send another important message this Memorial Day.
The American veterans' suicide rate is much higher than the average American.
Captain Brian Hudson is a chaplain in the Texas National Guard. He works directly with veterans who have contemplated suicide. Today, he's walking 20 miles to raise awareness of the 20 estimated veterans who take their own lives every day. The load he's carrying on his bag weighs 40 pounds, 20 in honor of those who died in combat and 20 for those he says are still struggling.
They're hurting emotionally, physically, spiritually, all the above and together, and they begin to feel devalued, or they don't have value, and everyone has value.
Hudson says this is his 3rd year doing the walk. He has a GoFundMe page with proceeds that will go directly to charities who work with veteran suicide. You can find that page on KVUE.com.
Here in Austin, people are taking time to honor those who died in combat. The sons and daughters of the American Revolution, along with other organizations, gathered this morning for a memorial service at the Texas State Cemetery Museum. Descendants of the soldiers honored today delivered eulogies. Participants say this tradition is a time for both reflection and joy.
We do this ceremony every year and enjoy it. Most of the members of the Sons of the American Revolution in our chapter are veterans also, so it has special meaning to us.
The Sons of the American Revolution concluded the service by firing a musket salute.